But science will also try to speak with a couple of stronger voices, really providing that input. And we will listen to two of these examples. I ask Åsa Persson, can you join me here on stage? And we will check now also if we have Sharachchandra Lele with us. Do we have Sharad online?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, from India. Give him and Åsa an applaud. Sharad, it's very late. We were hoping you would be with us. We have a couple of your colleagues here in the room to sort of back up if this would not have worked, but it's so wonderful to see you here. Sharachchandra Lele, Distinguished Fellow, Center for Environment and Development at ATRI, Bangalore, India. I know a couple of organizations, very important organizations, have been working really hard on a letter from science to Stockholm+50. Can you tell us a little bit about this? Why do you do it? Who stands behind it? What do you hope to achieve?
Sure. Thank you, Johan. And good evening to everyone. In the run-up to the 1972 Stockholm Conference, a letter signed by 2,200 environmental scientists was presented to the UN. This letter, known as the Menton Message, sounded the alarm on the environmental crisis and also on the nuclear arms race that was going on then. It called for urgent action on both these fronts. Now, as Stockholm+50 approached, the International Science Council, Future Earth, and Stockholm Environment Institute, Åsa is with us, felt the need to reiterate, extend, and expand this call. They convened an expert group of interdisciplinary scholars to write this letter from science. As a co-chair of this group, I want to begin by thanking the organizers for enabling us to release this letter at this conference. I'm going to try to summarize the letter in a few words, a few minutes. We all know that over the last 50 years, it has been one step forward and two or maybe even three steps back on both the environmental and the social front. Yes, we reached an agreement on ozone, and yes, we brought back tigers and pandas from the brink of extinction. But air pollution has gone up in many parts of the world. We continue to poison the food chain with chemicals. 1 million species of plants and animals face extinction. Rivers are drying and groundwater levels are dropping. And of course, climate change is here in full force, the details of which are well known to this audience in this room. Similarly, absolute levels of poverty and malnourishment may have declined, but inequality has increased dramatically. Political conflict persists, and the threat of nuclear war has re-emerged. Funnily enough, the world produces more food than needed, but 800 million people still go hungry today. We continue to invest and subsidize fossil fuels, even though renewable energy is increasingly cost-effective. Governments continue to promote private cars, not public transport, and we often extract resources in direct disregard for local rights and values. Now, one advance in science over the last 50 years is interdisciplinarity. Drawing on this interdisciplinarity, our letter argues that at the heart of this puzzle are three mismatches. First, it is about values. Our values have become more individualistic and materialistic, and we glorify consumerism and self-indulgence. Second, it's about worldviews. We continue to focus on economic growth, which we believe is necessary and possible. And we have this illusion that we can forever bend all of nature to our will through the use of technology and technological innovation. And third, current economic, political, and social institutions are failing us badly. Financial power is concentrated in the hands of a few, and it legitimizes the relentless pursuit of profit, manipulation of citizens as consumers, and valuation of nature for short-term economic gain. Racism and patriarchy continue to legitimize the deprivation and the externalization of environmental impacts on people of color, women, and indigenous communities. Conversely, those with the biggest resource and pollution footprints suffer the least. The richest 20% consume about 80% of all the resources. This consumerist lifestyle of a minority has created environmental problems that, and this is really a key point, not only threaten the well-being of future generations, but also the lives and livelihoods of many people today, especially the poorest and the most marginalized. In other words, environmental problems are not just problems of sustainability, but very much problems of environmental justice and social justice. What then is the way forward? First and foremost, we must redefine our normative goals. Personal well-being must focus on physical and spiritual health, community, and peace. Societal well-being must be defined in terms of a life of dignity for all, that is justice, the well-being of future generations, that is sustainability, and the well-being of non-humans, that is conservation of biota. Combining this with the worldview of a limited planet, we conclude that the privileged must take responsibility. Those who consume too much must scale back and make space for the disenfranchised and the disempowered. Third, it follows that although individual change is essential, collective action is going to be paramount to correct these systemic distortions. It's only through collective action that we can push for public transport or redefine social goals. Collectively, we must shift to an economy of cooperation and sharing, not competition and accumulation. Politically, we must deepen democracy and strengthen participatory governance. Socially, we must prioritize compassion in our families, communities, and nations. Speaking now to the academic community, which is the main participant in today's science conference, we call for reshaping the academic enterprise. We call for building bridges across disciplines, geographies, and income levels. We call upon engineers amongst us to make technology socially responsible and environmentally ethical. We must all be committed to knowledge that secures sustainability, justice, and dignity. We end this letter with a call to all fellow citizens. Let us collectively strike for the dignity and well-being of all humans and all species for today and for the future. We need to become good ancestors and better neighbors. We now declare the letter as released, and it's available on this website that I hope you're seeing on your screens now or on the big screen for viewing and for endorsement. We invite all fellow academics, scholars, students, and indeed all fellow citizens to endorse this letter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lele. Can you just say in a few words, how will you make sure that this now reaches the policymakers at Stockholm+50? Is there also a process tomorrow where you will present this letter?
So we actually decided that it would be better if we presented this letter today. So we have my colleague, my co-chair, Maria Ivanova, is presenting it in the Business Summit on Sustainability today. And then we will be opening this up for endorsements, and we hope to actually have 20 to 50,000 signatures from academics and from fellow citizens. And in that way, we empower ourselves to make a bigger impact at the UN General Assembly in September, when we hope to present this to the UN Secretary General.
Wonderful. So it's the start of a process, really. So thank you so much.